whispers in my head. What you gonna do? 선택의 기로에 난 지켜내려 해. 쉽지 않아도 진실한 나만의 beliefs. You know what they say, don't brag about what you have. Be careful and be humble, otherwise you should be ready to stumble. You know what they say, 자신감이 없니? 왜 당당하게 살지를 못해? Keep walking your way, don't look back. 너만의 길이야. Even when you fall, don't look back. 사실은 말이야. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. 'Cause it's only yours. Only yours, yeah. 쏟아지는 말 이미 어지러운 이 세상 속에서 어둠 속의 light 붙잡아 진실한 나만의 beliefs. 차가운 바람 그득하니 앉아 내 마음속에 새겨둔 작은 위로를 또 꺼내야 하나. 우울함의 파도를 가라앉혀. But when you feel like giving up, remember, keep walking your way, don't look back. 너만의 길이야. Even when you fall, don't look back. 사실은 말이야. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. 'Cause it's only yours. Only yours, yeah. Nobody knows.
All right. Welcome back to track 2 here at the Junior Roller World Derby World Championships 2025. I'm Sweet Fanny Adams.
And I'm Purple Rain.
And you are about to see Team Denmark and Team Sweden take to the track.
I'm wondering if this is a similar sort of rivalry to like Australia, New Zealand, just because these countries are so close.
Yeah, I did not think to ask, and curious to see what happens. We might actually start to get a feel for that as the players are going and looking at the supporters in the crowds. Either way, great support showing in the crowd. Sweden's support in the crowd.
But who do we have playing for these teams?
If you could pick up that singing, that was Sweden. But yes, let's get our rosters out there. So Team Denmark, big props. It is a hard place to be with a shorter roster, but I have seen shorter rosters. They've got Sappho, Burpee, Tiger's Eye, Nosferatu, Kitty, Orca, Sturlenfrieda, Liliskid, and Energizer up to represent for Denmark. Hi, Denmark. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Sverige, if I pronounced that correctly.
And playing for Team Sweden, we have 040, Sick in the Head, 112, Duellen, 12, Ima, 123, Zelda, 13, Pushey, 17, Head Vicious, 42, Evil Twin, 52, Queen of Blood, 555, Blurtura, 6, Catch Up, 747, Tumbleweed, 90, Mayonea, 94, Stella Tilda, and 95, Happiness.
And yes, thank you, Sweden and Denmark, for joining us online to support your teams. These young athletes have been doing stunning work all weekend. Day 2. They've already played 3 games apiece, I believe.
We can tell you that.
We can tell. So
we've got maths in front of us.
We do. Yep.
I believe 3.
3 games apiece they've played already, as you will know from yesterday. Oh, possibly. So this is some intense gameplay you will have seen yesterday. The intensity is only ramping up here. I think day 2 is where we really see the pivotal thing that all players need is this ability to remain focused. Roller derby is a hectic game.
It is
if
hectic.
you're on the track, it is not, it's the physicality, it is the strategy, the switching from offense to defense. You'll watch and see a lot of movement happening. If the players can, in amongst that, keep their minds clear, they tend to do better, and that is such a pivotal and difficult thing to do.
I actually find that the juniors are more hectic than the adults because they're
younger and more full of energy, and their knees still work.
Exactly.
But it's amazing. With all that hectic, frenetic movement, I still see what I believe is far clearer and calmer gameplay. We are playing the Junior Roller Derby's rule set at level 3 for the tournament, so full contact is permitted, and that is contact with impact. So I like to differentiate. You'll see a lot of contact happening with hands touching teammates, arms are present. If there is no impact, they're not going in with hitting force. It's a very different kind of game. These guys can use impact if and as needed, and our juniors, because they come up through the ranks of learning not to hit, they really learn some incredible control of their own momentum and their own abilities. They hit when they need to. Oh, I wish I could even read first and border ZZZ. Hi, Sverige. I will just like to put a little disclaimer in there. Any mispronunciations are mine and mine alone. I am in no way sanctioned by Junior Roller Derby Association to even try to pronounce other languages. So I do apologize if I am butchering your beautiful languages. We are very monolinguistic country over here, and I would like to see this change, and I think Junior Roller Derby is giving us good reason to change that. A little bleed through from other tracks with sounds and whistles. You just saw the jammers both thinking they were getting, it was time, the start.
But let's try that again.
And I'm just
this
looking
time for
to
reals,
the track.
jam 1.
Just going to look to our scoreboard over here. I believe it's Nosferatu. Yes, I recognise those shorts. Nosferatu will be taking the first jam for Denmark.
And I think it's maybe Tumbleweed
I can see
for Sweden.
Could well be, but they're currently having a chat with their pivot Happiness. And our officials are just sorting something out to make sure all our ducks are in a row before these athletes are unleashed. And I do mean unleashed. It's the beautiful thing before the jam start when there are these pauses. Everyone is taking this time to relax because the intensity when they need to play is so high that just these little moments, brief respite, before, boom, game faces on. We can see Lilleskid ready to block against the Sweden block. Oh, who's wearing what? Now I'm lost. Yes, against the Sweden. So I've got Denmark in red, Sweden in blue.
And lead jammer is Tumbleweed for Sweden.
Very quick and tidy initial pass there for Sweden. And look at Tumbleweed taking it to that pack, knowing that they were on their own there.
Really doing a good job of pulling apart the Denmark blockers.
Managing to keep themselves to the middle of the track to minimise opportunities for the Danes to knock them off track. That was Orca doing some very nice chest blocking out the front of pack until taken out, almost out of play, avoiding the penalty. There we have Sappho dropping to bridge back.
And Tumbleweed through for 4 points.
Nosferatu yet to make an initial pass. We do now have, however, 3 of Sweden's players in the, and we're just having penalty bin tag there. Pivot coming back on track.
That is Stella Tilda out there on their lonesome for Sweden.
Nosferatu. It looks like an equipment failure. A loose toe stop, I think, is what is keeping them off track. Yes, they've got some help coming in from the bench.
That is unfortunate timing.
That is such unfortunate timing. There was a good pack advantage for Denmark, which an equipment failure means they were not able to maximise. Sweden back on track. And a cut track being called on Tumbleweed. This is a... And we have a call-off.
Speaking of unfortunate timing, we are sorry that it is 2 a.m. for those of you in Sweden and in Denmark.
But we really appreciate you joining us here online because, yeah, these are some amazing skaters. That was a little... I'm sorry, I am going to say it. It was a messy. I think we all know it. It was a messy first jam. All right? But we do see that here at these tournaments at this level of gameplay. It can take a moment, especially day 2. People have already depleted a lot of their reserves, so they are having to dig deep, and it is part of what all athletes learn as they go into tournament play.
I mean, we're tired and we're just sitting here yapping.
I know. Oh, so it's amazing, and I'm looking forward to seeing, because we will, and we saw it in the last game, we will see it again here, how both teams draw in, really dig deep into their reserves, focus back in, and give us the game that they are capable of. Oh.
If it's
apparently it was 4 games. We're being told online. Teams have played 4 games. And the Danish team actually have 2 German players on board as well. Fantastic international relations at their finest.
And if it's any consolation, the Adult World Cup that just took place in Austria was equally as bad time zone for the Australian fans, I believe.
Yes, we're a long way from everyone, so we appreciate you guys coming here to us and sharing the joy of crawling out of bed at an ungodly hour to support your athletes. All right. Nosferatu is still getting some equipment assistance, and
there's some official timeout business happening as well. I think
there's a few things going on with
we've got both jammers in the penalty box.
Yeah. Oh, fun. That's a fun way to start. But they're having a good chat as they do. I do love this as well, the camaraderie between players. Jammers in particular have a lot of sympathy for one another. Once you put that helmet cover on, you are such a target. They both know it. And I think of all players, they can really understand and appreciate one another.
So when this next jam does kick off, we will be starting with a jammer release from the penalty box. So we'll also still have Tumbleweed and Nosferatu on that jammer line. The jammer line in this case being the Spank Alley penalty box.
Oh, there's Sweden giving some love for Vicious.
Tumbleweed has been released, and so has Nosferatu.
As they do, it gives that longer time they get a rolling start. It's the only time you'll generally see a rolling start. We have a multiplayer block being assigned there to Energizer, and Tumbleweed through for lead jammer while out. Now that was Burpee who had taken the star.
Oh, there we go.
For Denmark, they took
Must have
the
been a
cover
sub
off.
due to the skate maintenance issues.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
But that is 4 points for
And we have a
Tumbleweed.
star pass. So Orca now taking the star. Tumbleweed coming in on the scoring pass. Pack advantage, slight pack advantage Denmark. But Tumbleweed able to bounce and block their way through. Pick up points and call off before Denmark can score. I have never in my life so wished I had brought my extra kit with me. It is definite skate tech. Nosferatu is out. That is lowering. So Denmark now an 8-player roster at the moment until Nosferatu can get this kit's issue sorted.
And I think that is Duellen jamming for Sweden. And picking up lead.
And number 30, Tiger's Eye, jamming there for Denmark through shortly after.
Currently just one Sweden blocker on the track. That is Head Vicious.
And that is Tiger's Eye managing to lap our Swedish jammer, Duellen. So Sweden letting the jam continue. As Tiger's Eye has picked up a second scoring pass. And now Duellen calling off the jam as Lilliskid heading to the penalty box for Denmark.
To those of you asking what is going on with the stream, any specific issues you're happening?
My friends?
On our monitor, Sweden do look like they're wearing green, but they are in fact in blue.
There's a good point. Australia looked orange on my screen for the last one. So if there's any issues with the sound on the stream, this venue today, the sound bleed is quite shocking. Back to action on track.
That is...
Safo, amazing work trying there to hold Evil Twin, unable to contain Evil Twin till getting the out of play penalty, but such amazing hold. Oh, and I believe...
That was a bit of a barrel roll there from Kitty, who is out jamming for Denmark currently. We do apologise. We are on the opposite side of the track to the jammer line, so numbers are taking us a hot second.
They are not giving these teams the coverage these players either, the coverage they truly deserve. So there goes Evil Twin again, another scoring pass for Sweden. My word, Kitty taking some big hits.
Just what I was going to say.
Amazing booty blocking. The pendulum, but there comes Lilliskid back from the penalty box to break that bracing pendulum. I call it the pendulum when the one blocker is holding and the other blocker can just swing from side to side, getting devastating coverage of the pack. And there you can see Evil Twin communicating what they want to the pack. So even though it is pack advantage, Denmark, Sweden.
That is a jam called by Sweden, but Kitty did get out of the pack for initial pass there.
That is a 24-point pass for Sweden. Just over 5 minutes gone in this game. Denmark are on 8, Sweden are on 57. Denmark do have an uphill battle to pull this game back. They are running a much shorter lineup. Can't tell if Nosferatu will be rejoining as yet, is still on the bench, but not sure if they're able to rejoin if that equipment failure has proved critical. Meanwhile, Tiger's Eye jamming again for Sweden, being yielded to the back of the pack.
And that is Mayanea for Sweden.
Such fight. And Denmark, here we can see Denmark really focusing on their defense. Holding Mayanea as long as they could. That was amazing. Hold of almost 30 seconds before Mayanea finally able to clear the pack. Tiger's Eye has not been able to clear the pack as yet. They have the helmet cover in their hand. They are now free for their initial pass.
Meanwhile, a very quick scoring pass on the outside line by Mayanea.
And look, I could see Mayanea was communicating. It looked like they were telling their blockers to give them the outside line, which is exactly what the two Swedish blockers tried to do. Tiger's Eye too quick on that jammer lap, and Mayanea deciding to call off in order to make sure no points to Denmark. Because Sweden did pick up another 4 points in that jam. Oh, I'm liking this. We kind of need to involve you guys online in our streaming because we need more eyeballs. That was a very nice whip there from Sweden. I love a good whip. I've seen a lot of bad whips. I love the good ones. Beautiful formation there, Denmark, I can see. It looks like they're really focusing on their formations. They know they have to lock down these Sweden jammers.
Speaking of Denmark, Nosferatu is back on track as jammer.
Yes, we have resolved the technical issue for Nosferatu. Nosferatu now Denmark power jam.
That is Pushay taking a seat in the penalty box for Sweden.
So the single focus, but you can see how strong the Swedish defense is. Denmark a little uncertain. Do they involve themselves, keeping the Swedish blockers in play? Can they get in amongst the Swedish blockers to break them up in a way that Nosferatu can get through? Look at Nosferatu's legs working. The power, the drive, the focus. And that is crowd love from Sweden. Every bit as much for Nosferatu.
Lead jammer awarded to Nosferatu, and Pushay is out of the penalty box.
Finding an outside line, but getting shut down at the very front of the pack by Energizer, doing a beautiful yield back. Pushay now finding the inside line. Nosferatu carried to the back of the pack. Head Vicious. Beautiful sleigh ride to the outside.
Pushay completing initial pass as Nosferatu calls the jam.
But Denmark picking up 4 much-needed points in that jam, 4 very well-earned points there. Loving hearing our Swedish supporters. They were the ones who cheered the loudest when Nosferatu made it out of the pack because they knew what great work Nosferatu had done. Not their team, but still, it is Derby, people.
We also currently do not have our commentator headsets, so this is adding a
look at this.
extra
Thank you
level
so
of
much, Jen. Sports Connection
atmosphere.
Australia picking up and showing. Sweden have hands down had my vote for audience award, if there is such a thing, because they are bringing the Derby love. They love their team, big supporters of their team, but big supporters of Derby in general. The energy here from these guys is absolutely wonderful. We're having a team timeout, Denmark being... Oh, and we're just having a little bit of a chat. Head refs coming over, just checking in on some things. We do, there's a lot of extra care taken at our junior tournaments. Ooh. So, that's Roger Jamjet.
So I believe that...
Pen, yes, here. Sorry.
I believe that chant was actually for the NSOs, which is very adorable.
There's a Nico. Oh, game on, game on, game on. Sorry, a little distraction here. We had someone from the Denmark bench needing a pen and a bit of a hand.
All right. Another power
and
jam to Denmark.
that
That is
is
Tumbleweed taking a seat in the penalty
Tumbleweed
box.
confused. I did not see the hand signal from the ref. I'm so sorry. And we have pack advantage Denmark, but Sweden are an absolute force to be reckoned with. They are getting this pack moving. This is not what Denmark or the Jammer want. You want a still pack.
That is Tiger's Eye taking that power jam for Denmark.
Beautiful hold there on the tiptoes. Was there? I missed.
Oh, unfortunately,
I thought that was a
penalty.
no pass, no penalty, but it must have been a cut track. I didn't see I missed the hand signal. I do apologise. So Tumbleweed coming back to the track.
And this will be a 2-minute jam.
Yes, it will. And we've got the penalty box bounce. We're uncertain what's going on there. Tigers are a bit confused, but no time for confusion as it is now all action. Action station, Sweden, beautiful formation. Tigers Eye finding the inside line, but Sweden waterfalling from the inside line. Devastating. Booty block after booty block.
That is initial pass completed for Tumbleweed.
And so we did have a bit of confusion there. Tigers Eye being sent to the bin. I do believe the signal was no pass, no penalty for some reason. But if it was a no pass, no penalty, then no lead jammer status would have been awarded. I saw the refs having a chat, though. Whatever happened, they worked it out.
We just work here.
Let's do a reset. It's one thing you learn as a player. You really can't control a lot of stuff. The best thing you can do, let go, refocus. This game is played moment by moment. Denmark still on 12 points. Sweden still on 61 points with 18 minutes still left on this game clock. Dinatello ready, waiting for a signal to see, do we need an official timeout or can this be done? And Dinatello is calling it as an official timeout.
Looks like some scoreboard corrections happening.
Yep. Hardest part of any game, I think, for the players as well, these little lulls. Both teams, I think, using the time wisely from what I can see, taking a chance to breathe. Just let everything go. Now, whistle comes, focus back in. Unfortunately, I can't quite make out either jammer from our vantage point at this point in time. As you'll see from the live feed, we are not in the best position for this. But there we go, Sweden, beautiful pass there, 1-1-2, Do Ellen. And that is Burpee, jamming for Denmark. Gorgeous little hip hit there.
And Burpee has completed initial pass as Duellen comes through for 4 points for Sweden.
And yes, Sweden, with their lead at the moment, can afford to call the jam. They did pick up 4 points. They're in the position to just slowly keep rolling their lead out if at all possible. Mind you, this is still early days. We have more than half of this game left to play. Denmark on a short roster, but fit, focused. That's Nosferatu back on track, jamming for Denmark, but here comes, is it Tumbleweed? That is number 42, Evil Twin.
Lead jammer for Sweden.
Some nice fight from Evil Twin out the front there. Some nice formations. Denmark unable to bridge far and long enough to maintain. They're getting some gorgeous, gorgeous defense. But Sweden with their waterfalling round. Nosferatu breaks through and gets waterfall, breaks through and gets waterfall. Neither jammer through as yet.
That is initial pass or Nosferatu.
But no lead.
No, there was a lead. That was Evil Twin.
Evil Twin, yeah, sorry, no lead for Nosferatu. Thank you for making sure I had that clear.
4 points picked up by Evil Twin.
Denmark currently on 16, Sweden 69 points. Oh, sadly, roller derby is not that big in Denmark. Okay, so no
Lead-
wonder they have a short roster.
Lead jammer for Sweden is Maya Naya, but
Naya.
looks like maybe a late penalty being delivered. So
We'll see who's off. And it is on Mayanea. Good pick up there, Purple Rain.
looks like a high
And
block or
we
blocking
have
with the
had
head.
a star. Oh, nope. Tiger's Eye has kept the star. Tiger's Eye is now through, but is not lead.
So this will be a 2-minute jam.
And we do have pack advantage for the moment to Denmark, but Swedish player returning to the track. So no pack advantage, but a beautiful inside. We've seen some great toe stop work there. Now on the inside line, I saw some excellent toe stop work from Tiger's Eye on the outside line earlier, holding on against blocks. Tiger's Eye. Oh,
Just narrowly.
a wheel just gliding to the inside of track, correcting before they get a penalty. This is critical at this point. Oh, and there we have number 13, Putte, going up to give some offensive assistance. And that is Mayanea through on their initial as Putte is off to the bench for a sit down in the Spank Alley penalty box. Mayanea jump, jag, move, trying to lure Denmark blockers away. And the bridge back to Sappho, and now it is Orca, Sol, jump and jag from
We've got
Mayanea.
4 points to Mayanea and 4 points to Tiger's Eye.
All right, pack advantage Denmark again. We only have Happiness and Duellen blocking to try to help Mayanea. Tiger's Eye being hit out.
And that is a jam over. Looks like 9 points picked up to Denmark there, to Sweden's 8 points, taking our scores to Denmark 25, Sweden 77.
We're getting some interesting. Nosferatu's only played roller derby for 10 months. No pressure, Nosferatu. Fantastic. I'm seeing some really great stuff coming from our smaller countries. So Belgium have players who've only played for 1 or 2 years. Denmark are fielding a player with only 10 months experience. So there is some excellent training happening.
Speaking of
for our junior
Nosferatu,
skaters.
currently lead jammer for Denmark.
That is actually Burpee. Nosferatu has the long shorts. It's so hard to see. And
I
Tumbleweed.
misread the number.
That will happen. So Tumbleweed on their initial, Burpee on their scoring pass. And the bench for Denmark. Sometimes we play the jam out. We want to get the points rolling in our direction. And Burpee is getting their confidence, making their way through. And let's see, that call off is so difficult to make, but they did manage to have the call off come through in time. So hard when you are surrounded by opposition blockers. The jammer ref can't necessarily see if you're doing the small hip tap, but thankfully picked up in time to stop Sweden scoring. Another 2 points for Denmark. Nosferatu back on track. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving the skills that we're seeing in these players who have only been in the sport such short periods of time.
And that is Evil Twin out there for Sweden.
Evil Twin currently getting blocked by Lilleskid. Lilleskid now being backed up by Orca on Orca.
And Evil Twin through for lead jammer for
And
Sweden.
We are seeing Evil Twin managing to keep themselves to the middle of the track and still make forward progress until the no pack situation, and they can slide past the last defense. That is hard work, but they keep doing it. Good blocking out the front there by Lilleskid, but as we have seen, Evil Twin, I
for 4
won't say
points.
that they're comfortable with it. They're experienced at dealing with that, and they are not afraid to deal with it. That is hard work for both teams. All right, it is pack advantage. Sweden. Lilleskid out the front, blocking as long as they could to take as much wind out of Evil Twin. We have a penalty being assessed. Nosferatu back on track, and we have seen, look at the push in Nosferatu's legs. And whistles coming thick and fast, players being bled off the track and to the Spank Alley penalty box And Nosferatu passing the star to Orca.
This is turning into a big jam for Evil Twin. We're up to 16 points so far.
Fantastic. Sweden quite happy to let this one play. And look at the hit there from Duellen. But Duellen being sent for a penalty. Penalty box full, returning to track. Higher standing.
Very thin on the ground in terms of Sweden blockers at the moment.
It certainly is. And let's see what Denmark can do to maximise this. And Burpee back on. Oh, not Burpee, Orca. Apologies. Similar hair. Different colours. Very different colours.
Looks like a 22-point jam for Evil Twin, taking Sweden to 103, Denmark on 39. 10 minutes left in this game.
Still fantastic work happening there. We are seeing Denmark tightening up their defence as much as they can.
We are currently in an official timeout.
So with Denmark, not only is roller derby very small in Denmark, someone was asking, there has to be more than 9 juniors in the whole of Denmark, right? Apparently no. They only have 9 juniors of the age allowed to play at this level. So what we are seeing is the entire squad. This is Denmark. This is Denmark Junior Roller Derby, people. So I don't know if it will help them down the track if they are able to do a cross-cultural exchange, possibly as Sweden have a couple from Germany. But I think what we can see is that Denmark, for all the disadvantages they are facing in terms of player numbers and capacity to develop, because when you are such a small area trying to find teams to scrim with and against to build your abilities, these guys have some incredible skills for where they're at, and hopefully that is going to build some excitement back home and help them build the sport for their country and for our international
So
derby
we just
community.
had the Sweden cheer squad giving us a bit of an ABBA sing-along.
They did heads, shoulders, knees and toes beforehand, which I love. That was actually a tool that a team I played on had when we were getting, games were getting a bit frantic. If there was a timeout, we head, shoulder, knees and toes to calm our farms and get our heads back where they needed to be. Just get rid of the noise.
So it looks like there has maybe been a foul out, which is part of why we have had this official timeout.
There we go, 'cause we
they're
do
taking
need-
it in good spirits and being immediately embraced by the Sweden cheer squad.
Fantastic. And we do need that slightly
We are
longer time.
actually on our second Sweden foul out for this game. You unfortunately do only get 4 penalties before foul out in these shortened games and not the usual 7.
So we've
had a
third.
foul out for
Ah,
Denmark as
Sturridge
well,
is
which making things even more tricky with a tight roster.
And it does take a little long with the juniors. We have to get the designated chaperone to accompany them. We are not allowing our minors to be unaccompanied in strange countries.
But
We
honestly,
value our
I
young
would like
people.
to see a support person given to adult
I've got
foul
to
outs.
say, and there have been a few times when I would have not let certain adults be left unaccompanied as they were leaving the track for 2 reasons.
I just want
But I
someone
think
to
it's
give me a
great.
there and a chocky bicky as I'm
And
leaving the
if
box.
you need to have a vent or a cry, you need a support person with you on that one. Actually, it's a cracker of an idea. I think we should just institute it across the board. Take some notes. Oh, a foul out therapy doll. I want a foul out huggy. Dog. Always dogs. Hello, you're talking my language. Says the person who's had other people's support dogs, occasionally out them. We love the dogs. They're beautiful. We don't deserve them, but they love us anyway. Or support cat, if that's your thing. I'd also go for support goats, pigs, guinea pigs, and mice. I'm a little iffy about the snakes, but that's just me. If that's your vibe, go there.
Actually, when I was at uni, they used to bring in a petting zoo in the lead up to exams as a stress reliever.
Smartest idea. So therapy chicken. Dino would be all for an emotional support chicken.
They are indeed allowed to watch to the remainder of the game as a foul out.
Yes. Juniors are allowed to return to the bench so that they are embraced by their fam.
Even in the adult rule set, I believe it's only expulsions. You have to leave the room.
Leave the venue. So adult foul outs, they can be in the play area.
Just not on skates.
Correct. So we've got a very light again. Team Sweden, 2 blockers on track. Pack advantage, Denmark. Look at this repositioning, this reforming of their defensive triangle.
Lead jammer is Mayanea for Sweden. That is Tiger's Eye completing initial pass for Denmark.
And we are seeing this from the Swedish jammers that even when they're contained, they are still managing to creep forward, keep themselves to the middle of the track to minimize blockouts.
And we have an official review being called by Denmark.
Oh, Nurgle, the coach. I like the name. Nurgle. So Purple Rain is going to pop on in, have a listen for us, get us the scoop on what's going on there. If nothing else, I think it gives everyone a moment to recalibrate. Texas population, 31.2 mil. Denmark is less than 6 mil. So yeah, it's really nice. Thank you, Alia, for that little reminder. When we're looking at numbers, can be a numbers game. I don't know that roller skating is overly popular in many of our countries. So you take the skill, you then look how many people who have that skill want to play the sport or any form of roller sport, and who amongst them want to play a full contact roller sport. So yeah, just meant commenting on the growth in fantastic, Jason, as well. That is also another thing to note, the growth in popularity of the sport. And I do believe our juniors are a big part of that growth in popularity, not just because these are young people getting into the sport and they are the evolution and they are the future of the sport, but because the way they play this sport is representing it so well.
So currently Denmark are seeking an out-of-play block penalty on a Sweden blocker because they believe that the Denmark jammer was hit out of bounds and down by a skater who had been awarded a penalty. Sweden's defence is that the skater was unaware they had a penalty at that point.
It will be interesting
I'll report
to
back
see,
when we know the outcome.
Lovely. Thank you, Purple Rain. And it is interesting to see. So we know several things here. The penalty is not assigned until, we call colour number whistle. The arm swoop is definitive. However, it is challenging for players to hear if the player is unaware they have that penalty. There could be grounds. It is going to depend on what the referees observed. Referees always have to observe beginning, middle, and end of an action in order to determine if a penalty can be assigned. So even if an action does occur, if that is not witnessed, and this is what our official reviews are for. From our vantage points, we get different visibility. And Purple Rain is joining us to let us know the outcome there.
So the no call stands as the penalty was being issued as the contact was in process.
There you go. And it can be that fine a line. But I think that was a very smart call by Denmark there to question that one on that fine a line. I can see why they were wanting that reviewed. So that is a good pickup from the Danish bench there to have actually had the awareness and to double check. All the Danish team coaches have family playing on the team. Nurgle's niece is Liliskid. Foxygen's daughter is Energizer, and Checkpoint Charlie also has a little sister, but don't remember the name.
Currently on track, we have Burpee lead jammer for Denmark.
And running into, and that is a back block there. There was contact. We did see a Swedish player go down, and that was as a result of contact from Burpee to an illegal target zone. So now we have
That is-
Tumbleweed.
Getting out of the pack with a star stash to complete initial pass, but this will be a 2-minute jam.
2-minute jam. All right, and we have all blockers on track. Sweden have split Denmark's defence into 2 and 2. And as we've seen, the Swedish jammers are quite adept at making their way past blockers. So by keeping Denmark from forming into full 4 defensives.
4 points so far for Tumbleweed, but...
Burpee back on track. Amazing blocking by Sick in the head. Finding that laser-like focus. Burpee getting caught up behind that defensive formation, seeing a gap on the inside, trying to take it. Goes to the outside. Amazing sprint up the outside. Sweden trying to waterfall, unable to.
We've had another 4 points picked up by Tumbleweed and make that another 4 just now.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful partnership there from Sweden. Using that blocking formation, the Swedish blocker on the inside actually getting an assist into that block from their inside track teammate. There are many ways to help. That's like a pull move where you hit one ball to bounce the other one into the white to sink it. All right, Burpee is obviously feeling it in their lungs, but still giving us a finger wave. Giving some love back to the audience. 7 minutes on this clock. Denmark, 12-point jam for Denmark. That is one of their best jams this game, taking them up to 51 points. Still a 23-point jam for Sweden, 130 points.
Looks like Sweden potentially also losing Sick in the head to a foul out.
I'm not surprised. We've been seeing very light blocking packs from Sweden. Sweden are drawing a lot of penalties. They, luckily for them, have the longer roster and can wear more penalties. Look at Nosferatu go from that early equipment failure and being caught up on the blocking packs.
That is Evil Twin jamming for Sweden currently.
Currently still caught in the pack, has the cover, helmet cover in their hand.
Initial pass now completed though.
By Sweden, Nosferatu fighting to score points, running into Pussy Hair. Pussy. Oh, and they are Denmark letting the clock run, letting the jam run, or do we have no lead block? I thought.
Evil Twin is out for 4 points. Nosferatu is lead jammer.
I can see Honey Badger pointing there. So Denmark choosing to let the jam play, let their players have a time to try to find their legs. Sometimes you need to find your legs and your rhythm.
Another 4 points for Evil Twin. And there's that jam call off.
Great communication there, because I don't know. I think it may have actually been the player, Denmark's player in the penalty box. I don't know who the shadow was, because Nosferatu was looking forward. I could see the bench telling them to call off, and somehow Nosferatu got the message against all this background of noise.
Maybe it was just a coincidence. They were just tired, had enough.
Had enough. They realised this was done.
I'm out.
Oh, is that Tiger's Eye giving themselves a bit of space to take a rolling, bit of a run-up start?
No, that is...
Now, that is a dangerous tactic, because after the whistle goes, your opposition can draw back onto you. And yes.
That is actually Queen of Blood jamming for the first time this game.
Blood. All right, Sweden taking the opportunity to get some fresh jammers out there.
Tiger's Eye out for initial pass for Denmark.
Queen of Blood being taken down on the inside at the apex there. Sweden coming up to run a fence, but Denmark reforming. Oh, Queen of Blood. Tiger's Eye getting past Queen of Blood.
4 points apiece, that jam.
Just under 4.5 minutes left on the clock. We are coming into the home stretch. What I'm really enjoying from the Swedish support, they are making noise. We know it's support. They are not drowning anyone out. And they could, I can see and hear them, they could drown out this venue. And they are lifting it up.
I feel drowned out, but that's just because I cannot hear myself in my ears currently.
I'm lightly happy for that myself. Not that I can't hear you, because I can hear you. You're next to me. Look at the fight going there. Is that Tumbleweed again? No, that is number 90, Mayanea.
And lead jammer to Sweden.
Sweden, the fight coming in. There comes Burpee back, and this is what we want. All players on track. I want no more players in the penalty box.
Unfortunately, that is already...
Sorry, Kitty. I'm not surprised, though.
It is the commentator's curse. You can't talk about an empty penalty box without sending someone there.
Oh, I didn't realize they had this power.
I avoid it at all costs now. I've done it too many times.
I'm with you. It is. I can't think of how to possibly use that power for good, so I just ain't using it. All right. That looks like Tiger's Eye is back up. They want one more from Denmark on track. Was unable to see. So I can see Orca has joined. Nosferatu is taking the blocking formation, bracing there, but this is Tumbleweed.
This is Tumbleweed, lead jammer for Sweden.
Has that explosive jamming power. They are clearly used to having to block their own way through, and they do that so nicely. They take their lower stance to just build some beautiful momentum to deliver legal blocks.
Tumbleweed around the outside for 4 points and coming back into the pack, having a bit of an argy-bargy with Tiger's Eye.
There you go, and that was that. So it was, you heard my gasp there. I noticed Tiger's Eye losing their focus and actually going for the hit while they were traveling wrong direction. So counter-directional block there. And we do have a player from Sweden sitting on the track. We are getting them looked at.
So this next jam will be a power jam start for Sweden.
And yeah, just for anyone who did see the Swedish player sitting down on track, they are sitting, they are conscious, they are communicating, they are functional. Could be knee or ankle. These strains and injuries are quite common. We're getting them well taken care of. And yes, knee strains, ankle strains, all sorts of things. And you're going to hear it soon. All right, that is 7. That is Tumbleweed. That is Tumbleweed. They are up. They are mobile. They're heading back to their bench. There's a lot of concern from our crowds. No one likes to see a player dealing with injury. And this tournament has been very injury light, and I hope that we are going to keep it that way. It becomes more challenging as we get towards the end of the tournament. But I am very impressed with the skills, abilities, and awareness of all these players.
And some of the injury breaks we have seen have just been maybe a bit of panic.
That will happen to being winded. It has not happened to me, but the number of people I know winding can be quite shocking, and that you just need a little time to recover from that. We take care of our players. We know that it is, it's a hectic sport, and we want our players, these juniors, to keep doing what they're doing for years to come.
These athletes are tired, a long way from home. Everything feels worse than it is.
Absolutely. But we don't muck around. Joints. I'm 53. Look after your joints and they will look after you. We are back in. So who is jamming for Sweden? That's 42, Evil Twin.
Evil Twin taking this power jam, picking up lead for Sweden.
So Denmark.
So I'm guessing this is a new jam and not the injury rule.
Yes, it is. We're not running the injury rule for the tournament with these half-hour games.
Oh, I did see it occurring a few times yesterday.
Did we? Oh, I thought we weren't. I will have to recheck my rules. So someone online, please correct me. I'm always happy to be corrected.
But we are 4 points, 8 points now for Evil Twin.
All right.
Tiger's Eye back on track.
As is Kitty. Tiger's Eye quickly through for their initial. Evil Twin jamming now, trying to get points. Orca waterfalling. Kitty.
We do only have...
and Energizer doing what they can, getting a great assist there from Duellen.
We do also only have 2 Sweden blockers on the track currently, making life a little easier for Tiger's Eye.
And their focus is quite nicely on assisting their jammer. But that is a call-off as they saw Tiger's Eye coming back for another scoring pass. So we could well be looking at the last jam of this game with just over 1 minute left on the board. Denmark, 63. A lot of support from Sweden for Head Vicious. They have a specific Head Vicious chant. Sweden on 163 points.
All right,
Our
taking this
burpee.
potential last jam. That is indeed burpee for Denmark. And
For Sweden is Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise.
and lead jammer to Mayonnaise. Burpee out for initial pass as Mayonnaise comes through for a first scoring
And
pass.
some jammer on. Jammer action. I don't think we caught that on camera, but up the straight. Mayonnaise just burpee. Deciding just going to stop for a while. You have to pick your battles. Is this a battle? And burpee deciding to take the fight to Mayonnaise, jagging around. Mayonnaise
But
sends a
also-
penalty.
yes.
Burpee.
So this is 2 times in a row we've seen a jammer go for a hit, and that risk just not quite paying off.
There you go. Burpee playing the smart game, getting hit out at the front there by number 94, Stella Tilda.
That was
Tilda.
a big hit on Burpee.
Stella Tilda, head out, yield back. I'm noticing a trend here from Stella.
The period clock has timed out, so this will be the final jam.
And there's Orca has come back, has cleared an outside line, but Sweden also carrying Burpee to the inside of the track. Burpee.
Mayonnaise is back from the penalty box and very quickly through for 4 more points for Sweden.
Burpee being yielded back there, now being caught behind Du Ellen. Evil Twin. There goes Mayonnaise around. Orca unable to land the hip check. Denmark trying to assist Burpee through. Burpee making it through. Tiny little pat on their backside from Happiness, just recognizing, no, you're gone. I can't catch you. A beautiful little friendly tap.
Mayonnaise ending the game with a 12-point jam for Sweden, taking our unofficial scores to Sweden 175 over Denmark on 67. We are just waiting for those rolling whistles to come through. Looks like maybe an injury also on track
Yep.
currently.
Could be an injury or winding. We've got a player down. Nurgle's there looking. I cannot tell if that could be Energizer from the physique. No. Yeah, it could be. Either way, coach is with them. You can see they're talking. I'm going to guess that's potentially a winding.
But next on this
is no
track,
fun, so.
we will have the USA
And that was
versus Mexico.
Energizer. So Energizer being taken care of there. Energizer back on their feet. This is what we want. Everyone making it home. Big applause there.
It's actually 179 to Sweden after that previous jam to Denmark 67.
Well done, all teams. Thank you so much for joining us online.
As I was saying, coming up next on this track, we have USA versus Mexico.
Ooh. More neighbours.
More neighbours. It's all neighbours
Again,
on this track
yeah.
today.
We love it. But thank you so much for joining us. And look there, the Sweden team dancing back. Are we out?
Still just waiting for that rolling whistle.
Ding
And
it.
there we have it, our official final scores.
It is official.
Sweden 179 to Denmark 67.
Thank you so much for joining us. I have been Sweet Fanny Adams.
I have been Purple Rain.